the name of God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Please be seated. So today we're going to talk a bit about forgiveness. Forgiveness is a choice, not a feeling. But I do want to have a quick little word before we get into that. Over the past 2 weeks, you may have noticed Lee was taking some videos and footage of Wayman. You may have seen it out on social media this past week. They published that video. Wayman sharing about his experience during the Civil Rights Movement, how he is a fraternity brother, was a fraternity brother of MLK, and sharing some of his own personal experiences. And our gospel passage today, this little snippet, this middle part of Jesus' Sermon on the Plain, is often used on MLK Sunday. And even Martin, he also refers to this piece of the passage of loving your enemies and having this action of love in his letter from the jail of Birmingham. So it's pretty awesome, the timing of how everything worked out. And thank you, Lee, and thank you, Wayman. I saw him earlier. I'm not sure if he's up. There you are, Wayman. Thank you for sharing your story and helping us see love in action, right? Because that's what Martin Luther King was all about. That's what you lived through. You continue to live this fantastic example of love as action. And that's really what Jesus is talking about in his gospel today. He talks about anyone who can listen, love. And then he says all these attributes of love. Love is not responding to hatred with hatred. It's not an eye for an eye, right? It's not responding to discrimination with discrimination. It's not getting revenge. It's nothing like that. Instead, love, what love looks like, since love is a choice, not necessarily just the gushy feeling. Love is action, not just something we feel in our heart. What it means to love is to do good, to bless, to give, to pray, to offer, to be merciful, and to forgive. And so I want us to talk a little bit about love as forgiveness today. Some of you may remember a few years back over the summertime, we did a book study on Adam Hamilton's book called Forgiveness, Finding Peace Through Letting Go. It was a book study that we did through adult formation. And Adam Hamilton has this example of using a backpack and stones and stuff. So this is not an original idea, but I think it's a great illustration. So bear with me. So it's kind of like when we do something wrong or sin or mess up, something that draws us out of our relationship with other people or out of our relationship with God, it's kind of like we're wearing a backpack, all right? And everyone's got their own backpack, and certain little things happen. You want to help, Sage? Can you help? We've got some stones here. We got just like little white ones. Maybe these are just like the little white lies. Go ahead, grab. Don't put the whole thing in. Not yet, not yet. Let's start out with just the little white ones. We'll get there. Can you get these little white ones in? Maybe you cut someone off on your way to church. Maybe you lost your temper with your family members. No, just me. These little things that we do, that we need to seek forgiveness from others or, allow ourselves to forgive ourselves. Go ahead. All right. Let's see. Is that basket still pretty heavy?
Yeah.
All right. How about this book bag? What do you think? Is it heavy or is it kind of light?
Pretty light.
Pretty light. All right. We're still good. We're good. All right. It's not a big deal. These things happen in our life. Maybe they affect us in the moment. Maybe they have some residual, consequence. Maybe not. Not a big deal. You kind of carry it around. All right, Tina, you want to help me out? So then we got some bigger rocks, right? These are some bigger grievances, bigger misdoings, wrongs. We really stepped up our game here on our whoopsies. All right. Yeah, is that right? So I know, right? And this one's like broken. This one went through a lot. And so these are the wounds that cut a little bit deeper, right? They leave more of a scar, maybe a jagged edge. Yeah, you got it. All right. How's that basket feeling?
Nice and light.
Nice and light. All right, what do you think about this? Want to trade? So yeah, it's a little heavy. It's a little heavy. And so we're carrying these around in our backpack, right? And we're, all right, yep. But wait, there's more, right? Isn't that always the thing? Gonna need some help. Let's see. Oh. And then you get into the territory, hopefully not all of us experience this. And Mike, you want to help out? Grab a brick. You don't have to do them all. Oh yeah, Lori. That's what happens when you sit up front. That's why Episcopalians, they don't like sitting up front. So then something really wrong happens. You really messed up at work or at home, and you got some forgiving to do or some forgiving to ask for. All right, and let's learn from my mistake earlier at 8 o'clock. Make sure to zip it up. We don't want any bricks falling out. One almost popped out at 8 o'clock. We can't afford to redo this tile. All right, I don't know. What do you think? Are you going to take this to Australia with you, Mike? So you're carrying this around, and it's pretty heavy. I can feel it, really pulling on my back muscles. And we do this to ourselves, right? Because sometimes when people hurt us, we're carrying around that hurt. They may have just gone on with their life. They didn't even know, perhaps. Or they've kind of forgotten. They didn't realize what their actions did. And we're the ones really still dealing with this weight. It's pulling us down. I'm like, get a little winded. Oh, man, this is not something I want to carry around. And we do this to ourselves, right? And yet here God is saying, forgiveness is a choice, not a feeling, that we can choose to forgive. We can choose to have those tough conversations with other people. We can ask for help. Matt, can you help grab one of those bricks out or something? This weight is a little too much to bear, too much to hold on to. I don't know. Right? It's still there. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to offload one of the bricks. All right. We had some kids in the 9 o'clock said, this isn't as heavy as my school backpack. Oh, dear Lord. Right? And then sometimes we're able to have those tough conversations. We're able to receive forgiveness, grant forgiveness, and allow to pass the brick along, right? And perfect. You didn't have to hold on to it. You can put it down. It's in God's hands, right? Exactly. And then other times, all right, grab a stone, grab a brick, Mary, you got it. See what we can find in there. Oh, man. Yep, that's a big grievance. Yeah. Well, I kind of really like this one. I mean, I've been dealing with this one for 20 years. It feels weird to let go of this one, right? We kind of do that to ourselves sometimes. We're lugging things around, and we're seeking that help. We're seeking that forgiveness. We're having those tough conversations. And then just before we leave, we pick that rock back up. We're like, I don't know. There's some unfinished business here. And yet God is saying, look, I'll trade you this heavy backpack of bricks and stones. And what happened to that basket? I'll give you the basket, right? Nice, light, free. I'll give you this freedom found in forgiveness. That it's a choice. You can choose to say, I do not feel like forgiving this person, but I know that it's the right thing to do. I know it's the thing that, God, you're asking me to do, and the timing feels like it's something I can decide to do. And then allow yourself time for the feelings to catch up. So I took off this, I meant to have someone play God. Every other service got someone to play God. Michael, you want to play God? All right, Michael, you get the backpack. And you're God, you can put it down, you can do whatever you want with that. Right, there you go. And so God has taken that burden away, and yet I still feel it, my back still kind of hurts, and you do some stretching, maybe a heating pad or something, get a massage. Offer a massage? No. So the feelings take a while to catch up, right? Forgiveness, love, it's a choice. It's an action, not a feeling. And God chose again and again to love us, to forgive us, to show us a different way of living in community that brings about healing and wholeness within ourselves and within our relationships with others and with God. And so this week, I want you to think about, what is the backpack that you're carrying around? What are the stones or the bricks or the weights in that backpack that are weighing you down? And are you at a point in your life, is there someone, whether another person or yourself, sometimes we're our own worst critics, right? We really are harsh on ourselves, can't forgive ourselves for something we thought we should or shouldn't have done. Or maybe God. Maybe you have this hurt, this grievance, this bitterness with God of something that you thought she should or should not have done, right? And I wonder if this week you can choose forgiveness. And give it time. It'll take some time to have those feelings catch up with you, but you'll get there, I promise. But choose forgiveness. I forgive you. And it might just be saying it in your mind, I forgive that person, or I forgive myself, or I forgive you, God. And then praying, grant me the strength to make that so, right? Help me live into that choice. Help me experience and feel that choice. Because forgiveness is not forgetting, it's not magically erasing the hurt that happened, but it's being honest about the hurt and then allowing the hurt to not hold you captive, right? Allowing yourself to seek that healing presence from Christ that sets us free, that holy forgiveness, that holy love. And God invites us into this action, this ministry of love and forgiveness. I want to end with a quote from Desmond Tutu and his daughter. They wrote a book on, if it'll let me do it while I have the recording going. Okay. They wrote a book called The Book of Forgiving, and there's a lovely quote in here. God forgives unconditionally. So can we. The thief on the cross still dies on his cross, but forgiveness will set his spirit free. And what of you and me, standing on the ground with our piles of hurts mounting so high? Will we die 1,000 deaths before we die? Yearning for revenge, will we die of that thirst? Will the rage that fills us be the stake upon which we burn? Will we stumble over every resistance placed in our way and stay stuck in the misery of it all? Or will we take the chance that we might break free by following this path where it leads, past the whys and the lies about how it cannot be? Here is our chance. Take this chance. Break free. End quote. God offers us this love, this forgiveness, this freedom. And God joins us to participate and to reciprocate that love and that freedom and that forgiveness around us. So this week, as you journey, think about, what is the thing that's weighing you down? Where are the stones that maybe you can hand over to God? The forgiveness, the love that you can pour out upon another, upon yourself, or shower back to God in prayer. Amen.